Hi everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and in today's episode of Dye Time I'm going to be dyeing this fleece. Now it has been washed and some of the vegetable matter has been picked out. There's still little bits in here like that, but I have carded and spun some of it, and I've made it into that yarn, which I'm going to dye in another video. But I thought I'd give it a go, see if I could dye this fibre as it is and then card it and spin it afterwards. It's only 20 grams here, so if it doesn't work out, I haven't wasted a whole load of fibre. So I'm going to go put this into pre-soak while I get everything set up. I have this fibre in a dedicated dye saucepan. It's on a very low heat. I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of vinegar. All the equipment I'm using today is dedicated for dyeing. I don't use it for food. Now, this is cold. As you can see, I'm still putting my hands in. Now I've got my mask on and my gloves on because today I'm going to be using these powder dyes. They are Raven Black and Dances with Raisins. They're Fibre reactive dyes from Dharma. I've got here Dances with Raisins, first of all. And this with my spoon. I'm just going to tap on just a little bit of dye. Not too much. Just going to poke that through. Oh, this is a really beautiful colour. Now, fibre reactive dyes, you can use them on plant-based fibres and animal-based fibres. As long as you get, you've got to use an acid to help them bind to animal fibres, or soda ash to help them bind to plant-based fibres. I'm just spreading this out a little bit. It's beautiful. You can see some of the splits happening. You can see it's a beautiful sort of a nice reddy pink there, and you can see some lovely pinks popping through. I've got a new spoon now, and I'm going to add just the tiniest amount of Raven Black. Now if I use this on cotton, it does split into the most beautiful colours. I'm not expecting that to happen today, but splits are always bonuses. I love it when dyes split. So if it does split, I'll be very happy. Oh, it looks like it is. Look at that! You've got the Raven Black, got a speck of blue there, speck of yellow, speck of pink. You can see the colours all splitting there. I don't know what this will look like once it all sets to the fibre. But wow, isn't that pretty? So I'm just going to leave this now, let all that set to the fibre, and then come back. It's on a very low heat because I don't want there to be too much agitation in the water and make the fibre felt. So it's very low. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. It's still just a little bit warm. It's not particularly hot. Yeah, I can put my finger in there quite fine. It's nice body temperature at the moment. So this is going to take a little while to heat up, but I'm just going to keep a very close eye on it, and then we'll see what it looks like once all this is set to the fibre. This has been steamy for about half an hour now. I did add a bit of extra water because the water level was getting a bit low. There still is colour in here. That's all right. I'm not too worried about that. I think I may have used far too much dye. What I'm going to do now is add 1, 2, 3 extra tablespoons of vinegar. I'm trying not to move it around too much. Let's have a little look underneath. Seems to have gone through. And now I need to remember that this is non-superwash, so it is going to take longer to bind to the yarn. So I'm going to leave this for probably another half an hour, and then I'm going to turn it off the heat. This has been on the heat for about an extra 40 minutes. And there's a hint of colour left. Not something I'm overly concerned about. You can see a bit of the fibre seems to have stuck to my saucepan there. Hopefully that won't be a problem. But I am very happy with this. So I'm now going to take this off the heat and let it cool down completely before I wash it. I'll let this cool down overnight. Still the tiniest bit warm. It's been well over 12 hours now. Pour out that, there's no colour left in that liquid. And I'm going to very gently just soak this in just some water with a little bit of washing up liquid. I'm not going to scrub this, I'm not going to squeeze it. I don't want to felt this. It does smell quite a lot of vinegar, so I'm going to just let it soak in here. You see, doesn't look like there's any colour coming out of this. I'm honestly not too worried if colour does come out of this, because I'm going to be carding it and spinning it. And once I've done all that, I can wash it again and get any extra dye out. Once it's spun, it'll be a little bit more, oh, there's a bit of vegetable matter there. As I was saying, once it's spun, it will be a little bit more, have a bit more structure, so it could easily still felt, but not quite as easily as it could now. So how I'm going to do this is just pull that gently to the side, empty that out. There's some loose bits there which I don't want to lose down the sink. Oh, there it goes. No. Just like that. I'm just going to let the water run over that side. I'm not going to let the water run on top of the fibre because I don't want to felt it. I don't want to cause too much agitation. I'm going to let it soak. I'm going to do this a couple more times and then I'm just going to let it drip dry outside. And here is my finished fibre. This was a huge experiment from start to finish. I did not know what I was doing, which was pretty obvious in the video. And I love the results. It's not an even coverage by any means. If I want it to be even, then I would certainly leave this to soak for a lot longer than I did. I'd probably leave it overnight at least, and then use liquid dyes. I'd probably use a bigger saucepan actually, use my bigger dye pot, so that the dye and the fibre could really spread out. And I did slowly heat this up and keep it on a very low heat. So that's what I'd probably do differently if I wanted it to be more even, which I don't necessarily want. I really like the fun in this. You've got some bits that are still white. You've got some really dark bits. I don't see the breaks in this like I did when the dye was in the pan. That's not a bad thing at all. I love this Dances with Raisins colour. It's beautiful. And now I'm going to go hand card this. I've carded this fibre into these lovely Rolags and just look at them. The colour is just, it's beautiful. It's blended. So we do still have a couple of darker patches like that. This was just the last tiny little bit that I had to blend. But generally the colours have all blended together, so it's this more sort of mottled, beautiful purpley colour without the really dark bits. There are a couple of bits, as I said, but in general this is really, really pretty now, and I'm going to go spin it. So here it is, all spun up. I love this. I love how this has turned out. The colour is beautiful, and if we have a close look, you can see my spinning is actually fairly even for me. I'm not normally that even, but I love that you still got some white bits and some paler purple, some deeper purple. Looks great. I'm so happy with this. I haven't actually set the twist yet, which means I haven't soaked it and snapped it yet. So there's still quite a bit here like that will just twist in on itself. But I've loved dyeing this, and I will definitely be doing this again soon. Which colours would you pick for this for my next time? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're at it, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I publish a new video every Monday, usually around 6 PM UK time, so make sure you got your notifications turned on so you don't miss any new videos. Thank you so much for watching.